Hi, I'm Alex Karlins, and I'm the President of the United States of America. And I want to level with the American people and talk to you about my dealings with President Donald J. Trump. In 2017, I was approached by the President on TV, the President Donald J. Trump, and was asked to speak to the Korean government and the Chinese government and make peace with Korea and China. I spoke to the Korean government and made peace with them, and then spoke with the Chinese government and made peace with them. And it was something that Trump asked me to do for him because he wasn't at peace with Korea or China, and he used me to do this job for him because I was at peace with Korea and China. And the country needed to be at peace with Korea and China, or it was going to start a war with two major superpowers, which were Korea and China. And that would cause devastation to the whole country. And Korea has more missiles than any country in the whole world. We were in a situation where we didn't know what we were facing, and Donald J. Trump, President Trump, thought the whole country was going to go under, and thought we were going to lose the whole country. And he was very diligently asking me to make peace with Korea and China when I proposed to him that I would make peace with Korea and China, and that we can't let the whole country go under, and that he was ready to just die with the ship, just sink with the boat. And he dictated that to me, that he was ready to sink with the ship, and that, are you ready to go under with me? And I said, Trump, I'll make peace with Korea and China, and we'll get this whole situation under control. And I was put in communications with the Korean government and spoke to the Korean government almost immediately and made peace with Korea, and then was put in communications with the Chinese government and spoke to China and made peace with the Chinese government. And I spoke to both of them at length for a certain amount of time, and we talked, and they were very intelligent people, and it was a job that I needed to do as the President of the United States of America. And if I hadn't done that, this country wouldn't be here right now. And I feel like it was something I needed to do, and I felt like that at the time, that I needed to take control of the country and take control of the situation and talk to Korea and China and make peace with them. And I made peace with the Korean government and with Korea, and made peace with the Chinese government and with China. And we got the situation concluded. And now we're at peace with Asia. We're at peace with China and Korea. And we're at peace with Japan and Vietnam. And things are in a much better circumstance that we're at peace with Asia, because we were facing devastation in the country. If I didn't make peace with Korea and China, it would have leveled the whole country. And that was something that I wasn't able to let happen. I wasn't going to let the whole country go under and let President Trump and myself sink with the ship. I wasn't going to give up. I'm not somebody who's just going to let the whole country die. I'm not somebody that's going to let us sink with the ship. And Trump was not sure what to do because he never got along with other countries and he didn't get along with Korea or China. And it was something that I needed to do as the United States president and as the real president of the United States of America to save the country from dying. And I did this for the country because it's my job. And I did this for the country because I didn't want to die, and I didn't want the country to die, and I didn't want war that was World War III happening all over the world, because it would have caused World War III all over the world to go to war with the two most major superpowers besides the United States in the whole world. And Korea and China are very powerful countries. And that's not what Trump would indicate on national television, but Korea and China are very powerful. And they could inflict great damage on the United States, which I wasn't going to let happen. And we made peace with Korea and China so that the country was safe. And I owe it to myself to be a good person to my country, and I owe it to Trump for even trusting me in that decision making, because I wasn't sure what to do about it, and he supported me in talking to Korea and the Korean government and talking to China and the Chinese government, and I just did it and talked to them at length about the situation, and they put me through some sort of assessment that was psychological, and I went through psychological torture and came out on top, because I have a very high IQ that is the highest IQ in the world, and I can establish a means of surviving and tolerating psychological torture no matter what I'm going through. And I just put my mind to it to address the situation at hand and to tolerate whatever I was going through. And no matter what I go through, I keep on fighting for the United States of America, and I keep on being a good person to our country. And that's something that's good about me, that addresses every situation all over the world that we need to deal with. And right now, our dealings with Vietnam are in a state of goodness. And we're conducting freedom in Vietnam that helps the Vietnamese people and helps the whole continent of Asia for us to be at peace with Vietnam right now. And we're working with the Vietnamese government to establish means of peace with the Vietnamese government. And we're at peace with Vietnam right now, and will remain at peace with Vietnam and Asia to support the country in a huge manner that allows for peace all over the world. And that's what I've established in Asia and all over the world to keep our country safe. And that's something that I have to do as the President of the United States of America for global opportunity and global peace, and for us not to have international conflicts that start World War III. And we don't need that kind of devastation to our country or to the world, because it would end the world. And I'm not going to let that happen. And I'm your president, and I'm somebody that fights for my country and fights for the whole world. And I've established these means of peace so we can survive and so the whole world can survive. And I'm happy to tell you that I'm in it till the end.